This is your first look at 7 brand new knives from Kershaw for 2021. Stick with us through this video and you get a chance to win something really cool. Folks, as you know, SHOT Show 2021 has been canceled. We are here to bring you the cool information that you need, and I'm ready to talk to the folks at Kershaw Knives about the new offerings that they have. Tell me a little bit about this thing. First of all, what's it called?
Okay, so this is called the Brace. What's great about this knife is that it's very small, it's very easy to carry, very easy to pocket, or for those who do, they could tuck it in their shirt on the lanyard. It does come with this nice 550 cord lanyard. It's really easy to adjust. It's got that simple adjuster on it. And I know people worry about these kind of things. This will, if someone yanks on it, it will slide. So it's not gonna strangle you.
That's always nice to know. I want to keep breathing, if someone gets hold of this.
Well, and it actually is what you mentioned before is another great way to carry this, where you can use this cord, stuff the whole thing in your pocket, and then when you pull it out, everything comes with it, but it comes free.
Yep.
And there's lots of different ways to use these. You can even take this lanyard completely off and lash it to a pack, or I think people can find all kinds of creative ways to mount it. So we have an injection molded sheath here that has a double detent on each side that holds it in. What's nice about this sheath is that it's completely reversible. So again, if it's dangling and whichever way you choose to carry it, or just being left or right-handed, it doesn't matter which way you put this in. It's gonna go in. It's gonna hold it nice and secure. This one, I'm honestly not positive we have it in stock, but if we don't have it in stock, we should have it within the next month or so.
Okay.
So it won't be a long wait if it's not available now.
So outstanding. And I'm going to take a little minute here to let folks know. Folks, down in the description, we're going to have a special giveaway. I'm not telling you what it is. You got to click on it to figure out what it is. All right, let's move on to the next one. And this is an assisted opener. It's a flipper. I really like the blade design on this thing. So what is this called? It's got a nice liner lock, and I'm a sucker for flippers.
This one is called the Drivetrain. And so we offer a more value-priced version of a rescue knife. And we consider this one kind of an upgrade, and really, I'm very pleased with how this one turned out. So the Drivetrain, again, as you noted, is a flipper. It is assisted, and it has that nice, I guess I'm going to call that a drop point. It's a bit of a clipped-off tip, but it has a nice, effective blade profile with a little bit of belly to it. And it does have an integrated glass breaker on the back of it. There we go.
Your glass breaker, what's it made of? Is it carbide?
It's made of carbide. Yeah, no, we actually do test these, and we found that having a carbide glass breaker is really important. It's that sharp tip that breaks the window, and maintaining that sharp tip. When you make them out of steel, they tend to roll over after a couple of hits, and that's just not okay.
At a previous job, I did some glass breaker knife tests, and the carbide ones worked wonderfully well. And I hit one window on a car 21 times with a stainless steel window breaker, one of these little cheap $9 hammers that they got from Hong Kong or wherever. And I couldn't break the window with that thing, no matter how hard I tried. And I don't know if you saw the surprise on my face is this a seatbelt cutter? Because I flipped it open, and lo and behold, there's something else on this knife. So
it is, yeah. So this is a seatbelt cutter, and what I love about this is that it doesn't seem to matter what side of the line you're on, whether you're trying to cut yourself out of a car, whether you're an officer trying to help someone out of a car. When your blood is up, when you've got the adrenaline pumping, you lose a lot of fine motor skill. And so a lot of times when people have these fold out seatbelt cutters, they fold 180 degrees. Some of them are kind of fiddly and hard to get to. And so this one, it has this big opening down here that's really easy. You just kind of mash your thumb into, and you snap it, and that's it. We have this long hook on here that makes it easier to hook that seatbelt in and force it into the blade. And you kind of you guide it along that handle, and that brings the seatbelt in. We've tested these. We're really pleased with the performance. That was something we took very seriously in this design. We actually did test these as well as the glass breakers.
Yeah, I like this. It's a good feeling knife too. It's thin but still stout. I want to ask the quick question. This is another flipper as well. Is the groove in the blade there, is that purely, I was going to say ceremonial, but that's not the right word. Is that?
I'll call it that. It's ceremonial. This is an aesthetic feature. It doesn't help you open the blade. The knife really operates on a flipper. So this is called the Turismo. This has again an upgraded D2 blade steel. We have kind of a minimal flipper, but we have a nice little bit of texture on the end of it, so that it makes it open really well. And once it gets going, it opens with authority. Part of the reason for that is that this knife and actually one other one that we're going to talk about they're a little unusual for us in that they are assisted, but they're also running on the ball bearing washers inside of it. So it is rotating on a set of ball bearings that are caged inside of there. Reversible deep carry pocket clip and contoured steel handles. And this one has an MSRP of $71.99.
Okay.
And this is called the Turismo. You'll notice that flipper hides in the handle when it's open. So that's a bit different than a lot of what we do. If you look back to like the drivetrain, you'll see typically with a flipper knife, that flipper hangs down and creates a bit of, honestly, a bit of a finger guard.
Yep.
So these ones are a little different. We designed it so the flipper was relatively minimal. So when you open it, it kind of hides in the handle and it gives you a little more room on the handle. It's just kind of a design feature. Let's pick up this one.
Got it.
There we go.
There we have it.
So,
another flip. Ooh, I like that a lot too.
They look very different, but they are kind of sister products in a bit of the way they're designed and the way they function. This is called the Collateral. And it operates much the same way. It's like I talked about, it has the ball bearing washers inside of it to make it really smooth, but it also is assisted. It has that relatively minimal flipper, but again, nice texture on the front. So you get a secure grip and it opens with authority. We have a steel handle with a gray PVD finish on it, black carbon fiber insert. On the back side, we have a steel handle with a frame lock and a reversible pocket clip. And the blade on this has a nice satin finish, and it's made out of D2 tool steel again. So again, a nice little upgrade.
This is just a very elegant looking knife, open or closed. I really like the way this one goes. Nice. Well, I've grabbed this one. Yet another flipper I can see by the stud on the back of the blade. This looks,
you might be noticing a theme. Yeah.
A theme?
Well, we do a lot of flippers.
Oh, okay.
We make a lot of flipper knives. That's kind of our bread and butter.
Yeah.
So this one is the Cannonball. And once again, you've kind of picked a lot of the ones that have just a little bit of an upgrade. So these are this is again a D2 blade with a black wash finish. So it's a little more subdued. It's got kind of that smoky look.
Yeah.
And again, we have a gray PVD coating over a steel handle. A little black washed steel insert on the front gives it a cool look. And then on the back side, we have our frame lock mechanism that holds it open. Reversible deep carry pocket clip. And this one's actually kind of a minimal clip. As much as it's wide, it's relatively short. So it's not quite as noticeable as some of the other ones. This one, I mean, for me, I've got a fairly large hand and it's a full grip. I'm not hanging off of it. Yeah. And yeah, some people like that little extra bit of breadth. And this is what I'd call like a modified drop point. It is clipped off a bit, but it's got that higher tip and the big belly. So yeah, no, comfortable, easy to carry.
Most people flip open a knife or they'll talk about steel or something like that. They know what 440 stainless is, or they've heard that or something like that. What qualities does the D2 steel give your knife blades? Because we've had several of them now that you've specifically mentioned. These are made of D2. Why do I want D2 in a knife in my pocket?
To encapsulate in a sentence, you'll generally get better edge retention. Essentially, we can heat treat it to a little higher hardness and still not have it get brittle.
Okay.
So we're able to increase the edge retention. There's a lot of other factors. I mean, the way carbides are formed in the material can make the edge more toothy, which can help it hold an edge longer. There's a lot to it, but the short version is that, yeah, the steel is made a little differently. So either we can harden it more or something in the matrix of the steel itself makes it tougher.
Yeah. And again, the steel, the metallurgy, all of that stuff is we could talk for hours about this, and I might be getting geeked out, and other people's eyes are glazing over, and they're like, I don't want to hear about the steel or anything like that. So, one of the last ones we have here, I'm looking at this, and again, 13-year-old Kevin gets all crazy now because this is an automatic, and I really like this blade design. The look of this right here, I like the straight blade because I'm terrible at sharpening knives, and I think this is always easier for me to sharpen. So, but talk to us about this little auto knife here.
Okay, so this is the Launch 13. So, I mean, the Launch series, we made a lot of them, so we kind of went by numbers rather than coming up with names. Naming is one of the more difficult things that we do, trying to get something that's not trademarked. So we kept it simple on our automatic series, and they're all launches. So this is lucky number 13 here. It's kind of different for the Launch series in that a lot of the earlier knives were a bit wider, a bit more traditional looking, and this one's very slim. it's kind of mean looking. It's got that Wharncliffe blade. It's tipped up just a little bit. That is by design to kind of give you a bit of the best of both worlds. So I think that helps a little more with carving and slicing kind of tasks, where when that Wharncliffe is angled all the way down, sometimes that's maybe a little much. The best box cutter in the world. It's so great for box cutting or for fine detailed work. You can just curve and turn that tip if you were cutting leather or other things. Oh man, I'm going to blow the MSRP on this one, but I believe it's $169. And I would encourage people to go look that up and not trust me on that one, because that is one that I have forgotten for today. I'm gonna have to shame myself later.
Well, you've done a wonderful job to this point, Jim. So I'm not gonna one minor mistake. Yep. And
my goal is to choke and blow it at the end.
Yeah, there we go. And folks, let me remind you again, we have a great giveaway. It's down in the description. Just click on the link. Super secret. You got to click on the link to find out what it is. I'm not even going to share that with you. That's how evil I am some of these times. Get down in that description, click on the link. We got a special deal for you. Super giveaway, opportunity to win. It's going to be great. The last knife I have here is a butterfly knife. And
yes, sir.
I'll play with it a little bit, but I'm no expert. And again, I'm no knife expert, but there was a teenage Kevin Michalowski who could flip one of these around pretty good, a few years ago. We'll just do that. How is this going for you? Is there still a good market for butterfly knives?
Oh yeah.
As we go forward?
These have been really popular, especially this year. And I've got to credit one of our dealers with kind of saying, it probably has something to do with the pandemic, with people being at home, and they're kind of going, what the heck? This is the year that I'm going to learn how to flip a butterfly knife. And so the one you're holding is our original Lucha. This is called the Lucha, and I'm holding the newer version that we've released this year, which is the black wash version, which is kind of striking with the black tumbled finish on it. So the Lucha, we did a lot of research, and this is one where I can be honest as a designer and say it was really nice. We made it, well, nice for me, I guess. My poor prototype guy. My R&D guys, they built a prototype based on our first design, and we brought it to some people and we said, try this out. And they told us, man, that's not very good. This is what you need to change. And we took that advice and we listened to them. And so we made it narrower. We lengthened the handles. We adjusted the way it balances by changing the shaping of the blade. We changed the latch around. We did a lot of things. And I think listening to the customer has really helped this be a successful product for us.
Well, I would think that would be true all the time,
I know it sounds silly, but I mean, we really took some time on this project. It took a little longer than we would have liked, but we're really happy with the result. So we have a 14C28N blade, steel handles in this case. This is running on ball bearing washers, so it is very smooth and very fast when you flip it. We have our latch here that we've just got the tension just right on. Pops off nicely. And this latch, I'm trying to show it. Maybe you can show it better on your camera. It has a little bit of a shape to the profile, a little bit of a rounded shape on the end. If it ever gets caught in between the handles, to help it kind of squirt out of there as you're flipping it around. The interesting thing about butterfly knives is they're also really, if you want to use them, which I know most people want to flip them and do tricks, they're very safe. As weird as that is to say, once you have it open, you are holding this knife open. You are physically squeezing the handles together. Yeah. This is a really rock solid platform once it's open. 13-year-old me loved them too. So.
You said, sometimes you come out with as many as 25 to 40 new knives each year. How's that going with the pandemic? And 2020 was crazy, and 2021 might be even crazier. How's everything working out for folks over there at Kershaw?
It's been remarkable. It's been one of our best years ever, and I know everyone in the world kind of in March went, uh-oh, what are we going to do? And we were in the same boat going, are we going to do well? Are we going to have to lay people off? Is it going to be bad? And business just took off from there, and we can't keep up. I mean, it's been a great problem to have, I've got to say. So we're grateful. You can look up all these knives at our website at www.kai-usa.com. We have several different brands, the Kershaw brand and the ZT brand as well. So feel free to check them out there, or to check them out with all of our dealers if you want to buy something.
Folks, I'm Kevin Michalowski, editor of Concealed Carry Magazine and director of content here at the U.S. Concealed Carry Association. Thanks for watching. We've got more great videos, so I want you to subscribe to this channel. We'll give you firearms training, reciprocity information, state laws information, all kinds of great stuff. Click that notification bell right down below. We'll notify you every time we come out with a new video. Stay safe out there. I'll see you next time.